One thing I've learned, bro, and you know me very well. One thing that I've always been is very, very genuine, and I've never been a kiss ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can vouch now in front of the audience. Luke,
Yep.
is Johnny K a kiss ass? So they can get
No, he's
clear.
not.
There you
Not
go.
a kid ass.
There you go. Because because there is a bit of a misunderstanding with everyone. You know, just in general, when you try to add people, and and they say hello, you get a lot of them. And I'll ask you about this. You get a lot of them that try to suck up to you, and but then you get the genuine ones. And I mean, I'll tell you what, man. Like our lists, that I'd say they're about 70% genuine, but then you do get a few. I mean, have you ever had any situations, any stories you can tell me about people trying to suck up?
Oh, ooh. I don't know. I suppose I get it all the time. You get people like that all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, you got to just try and remain grounded throughout the whole deal, don't you?
That's it, man.
You just, it's a bit,
That's all you can do, man.
that's right, yeah.
It frustrates you when there's people that
you
bust
feel
their
like
ass
sometimes
off.
You feel like blowing your stack and saying a few things, but, sometimes you got to,
That's
I know,
right, man. You get people that bust their ass off, and
I
then
suppose, yeah.
you get people that just completely bust their ass, and then you get others that just want things, to go their way.
That's
they
one thing
suck
that
up.
really annoys me, man. I've been thinking about that the other day. Actually, I've seen people that try and jump on other people's bandwagons,
exactly,
and all this type of stuff. And one thing I can say for sure, and I've experienced it, is nothing's for free in this world. You got to work hard.
Exactly,
you got to do it for yourself.
Absolutely.
You can't rely on people in this day and age to get things done. You can't do that. It doesn't work. It doesn't exist. As much as we all want that, it does. It's a fantasy. It doesn't exist.
There's a really good saying, bro.
Yep.
There's a really good saying, man. Nothing for nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing for nothing. If you want something, you got to bust your ass, and you got to be humble and stay humble and work hard.
That's right. Well, every single thing that I've ever done in my career, I've earned. I've actually done the hard yards. I've had, like I said, I've worked with people.
Yeah.
But I don't rely on it, you know what I mean? You've got to do it all on your own.
Exactly.
So, and until people understand that, until actors can have the same mentality as a filmmaker, as an actual person that makes movies, until they can get it through their head, then stop relying on directors or filmmakers to get them famous, and they get out there and they start making their own material.
That's right, yep.
The better we'll all be.
Yep, that's right. I mean, I've been on Underbelly, I've been on Knowing. I'm going to end up putting some stuff up because people want to see a show reel. I don't believe in, show reels are nice, but when you've made it, people will know. There's no need to post show reels that people have never seen, in terms of shows and films. Unless they see someone's show reel, they're not going to know. You got to get there the right way. You got to, because That's right. And making your own stuff is really, really good. And that's what I've been doing. And I've just been laying low with it all, man. I'm going to go to America next year, and I'm going to talk to an agent up there who might possibly get me in a couple of roles. Nothing too big, because I don't want big, man. Like, I'm happy just to get something very small. One thing that people just don't get, what they don't get, Luke, and I'm going to get your thoughts on it as well. They always think that, I'm going for this lead role. I'm going for that one. And it's all about these big roles. You don't need a big role, and you don't even need to wait in line and go for a massive role to get noticed, to work your craft. I personally, and I'll go on record and say this, and I don't think I've said this to you before, I would never, ever audition for a lead role. I'm not even joking. That's on the record right now. You've just heard it.
Yeah.
I would never audition for a lead role. If I was offered a lead role, if people came knocking on my door, hey, we want to give you a lead role, well, it would be a bit stupid of me to decline. But for me to go and wait in line with 50 other people and wait to audition for a lead role, no, I wouldn't do it. And not saying there's anything wrong with that. Everyone obviously needs lead people in their production, but I wouldn't personally do it because I believe that it's not the main role, the duration of how long you're going to be in a role. It's, the impact that you give, in a show or in a film. I've known people that have said, 3 lines in a very popular show, and they are talked about all the time. They were given a role which specifically focuses on a story, you know. They had a character. They just said 3 lines. But what they did was head and shoulders better and easier to get than these suckers that wait in line, you know. And they didn't even end up getting the role, Luke. They end up getting sent home, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I always say that you don't need to go for the big one, okay? The big one is anything, whether it's a bit part, whether it's a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're just doing 1 episode on the show, you know, you shouldn't, you know, think to yourself, oh, I want to be on posters. I want to be the main character in this, you know, next, you know, Prison Break series. I want to, you know, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think?
Well, what people need to start understanding, and they've got to use their minds, they've got to use their mentalities, and think that it's, you know, like I said, all the films in the world are not going to save you. It's all about making the biggest wave. It's all about impact. It's all about, you know, what you can do with that character. That's going to make it unique. And every role's important in a film, you know, big or small. And it's just people need to start training their minds to stop thinking practical and stop thinking like, you know, materialistic, and start looking at it in a different light. You know, it's not about, like you said, it is not about, you know, lead roles and big roles and look at me and you know, I've been in the movie for most of the time. Look at this, an hour and a half and stuff. It's what you do with it. It's all about impact.
When a Stranger Calls, the remake, the whole film is surrounded by that stalker stalking the girl in the house. You know, stalking the babysitter. The entire movie, Luke, is about that guy. And the only time he ever made an appearance was at the end for only a couple of measly minutes. And then just so he can get the well-deserved credit, as he's going by after he's arrested in the car, you get a really close glimpse of his face. And that was it. I think that we are too soft. We are definitely too soft, ladies and gentlemen. Very soft in our Western society. Very, very soft when it comes to murder, and the punishment for murder. It's just, if it is manslaughter, different story. If it is an accident, even if you were, very, just crazy in the moment, with all your emotions, and you just, and you just threw a punch and you killed him, and it could be classified as manslaughter. Then that's, that should not be punishable by death. I agree with that, if it was just a flat out accident where you didn't even mean to kill him, you weren't even, upset at anyone, it was a complete accident. A guy came out in front of you on the road and you kill someone. That's manslaughter. There's only one fucking term for it, manslaughter. And if it's manslaughter, just to make it crystal clear, if it is manslaughter, then, the guy shouldn't, be killed. But let me, explain to you what murder is. Murder, when you are, convicted of murder, that's the intent that you went out and you know what, I'm going to fucking kill this cunt. That's murder. I'm going to fucking strangle this bitch to death. That's murder. When, and you should also, suffer that same fate for doing that. That exact same fate. And it's crazy. It is crazy. And, this is what's crazy. It's crazy that people, defend it. Oh, well, they shouldn't be killed, just because, they did it, doesn't mean 2 wrongs make a right. What the fuck are you talking about? Have we become that soft? No, seriously now, have we become that soft? You murder someone, your ass is getting fucking murdered. If we had that rule, if we had that law, I'm telling you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, there would be 99% murder free. 99% murder free in every country across the fucking world. There'd be basically no murder at all. And that 1% that do decide to go out and, they want to commit suicide by execution, so be it. And they want to take everyone with them. There are some real fucking cunts out there that just don't give a fuck. And you're hanging out with mates that, use you for lifts because they don't fucking drive, because they drink themselves, into oblivion. If you've got people, that treat you like an Uber, hell, they probably treat an Uber better than you, or a taxi. You know what really shits me? They'll turn around and say, well, can you take me there? I'm willing to pay you. It's like, because they know you just can't be fucked and you don't want to. So they ask you if you can do it. Okay. Testing your friendship, in their way of doing that. And, also testing your goddamn fucking patience. And they ask you, oh, well, can you take me around the corner? And you almost feel bad if you say no. And they kind of, they lay that guilt trip on you as a mate if you say no. It's like, why wouldn't you? You're my mate. So, but you just can't be fucked. And they know that, what the fuck, why I'm even asking him. But I'm asking him anyway because he's a mate and I can exploit him. So, and if you sort of, say, look, like I really, but then they cut you off and say, hey, but no, look, I'm willing to, to give you petrol money. Like, what fucking insult? Like, do I look like a fucking taxi driver to you? Do I look like, my car is, covered in yellow? Does it look like I'm an Uber? Do I have bottles of water in the car, ready to give to people? Do I have a fucking, app on my phone where I log in and, it goes ping, 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 ping every fucking, half an hour? No. So why are you asking me, a mate who's got better things to do, to come and pick you up, okay, or to even drop you off somewhere as I'm leaving? Like, who the fuck am I, man? Who the fuck am I to do that? Do it yourself, man. If you can't drive, catch a fucking Uber. Get on the fucking app. Call a taxi. Or you can even order one of those fucking online as well. Just don't fucking come to me and say, can you take me here or can you take me there? Okay? If you're claiming to be a mate, then, some mate you are. Some mate you are. Think about the stuff you've done and the stuff you still do with each and every person out and about. Just think about how you act. Okay? Think about how you act. Because people take your fucking side and all of a sudden fucking, it seems as though I'm the bad guy. Well, people with just half a brain. Hell, you give them a quarter of a brain and they'll know who's fucking right and who's wrong. But hey, that's who the fuck cares. Seriously, who the fuck cares? I just thought I'd mention that because this question popped up and fuck, it brings back a few memories. But, and this is educational for each and every other person. But, yeah. It's hilarious. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. This is the funniest part, right? This mate of mine, he would message me, hey man, do you want to catch up? First he'd ask me how I am. As soon as I knew, he was like, hey, what are you doing? How are you? So right away I knew he wanted, to go somewhere and fucking, he wasn't just messaging for the fuck of it. Sometimes you can. Hey, what's up? What's happening? Hope you're well. Anyway. So, I dreaded to reply to him, and sometimes I didn't. I'm sure that made me a horrible friend. And, he obviously had ammunition to knock me on it, even though he just can't get the fucking hint. Ironically, he used to tell me about, I should really get the hint. Man, there's hints flying all over his fucking head. He can't fucking catch one of them. He would message me and say, hey, do you want to go for a cruise, check a place out? Sure. Why not? Yeah, awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm down. Oh, there's just one thing. I don't have a car. Oh, well, if you don't have a fucking car, why would you message someone and say, do you want to hang out? It's just frustrating. I remember once, he messaged me about going to the beach. And he was waiting on me, and I rocked up, he was getting ready to go on his own because I took, longer than expected. But he didn't care whether I fucking, came to the beach with him or not. He just wanted a lift there and he wanted to drop, past a bottle shop on the way to get drinks. A bit hard to do that when you're taking transport, isn't it? You stop off at one station, get the stuff, and then how do you get that on the train and go down? He used me for a fucking lift, and to this day, he's that fucking arrogant and ignorant and just flat out stupid that he'll just fucking, believe that, oh, it's all... And what really frustrates me is He's got others jumping on his bandwagon as well, you know, which really fucking shits me. And I thought they were fucking smart, you know, reasonably smart, you know, maybe not the smartest people in the world, but I honestly thought, you know, they had some intelligence. Car, bus, train, plane, boat, or teleportation device. All right, well, we can take teleportation device out of there. It's funny how the most fictional thing on planet Earth as a teleportation device can be so popular for for over a century. But then again, we have religion, and that's been popular for so many centuries. So how is teleportation device any surprise? At least teleportation device is incredibly fascinating and fucking entertaining as opposed to fucking organized religion. Ladies and gentlemen, and it doesn't kill people either. This is Johnny K, and yeah, look, it's a tricky one. Yeah, look, I personally love to train it. I've trained it from Melbourne to Sydney. Took a good 10 plus hours. Close to 11 because there's stops, a few stops in between, very short breaks. Going through the countryside, you know, on the train is just it's phenomenal. It's so good. We can't live life in fear. We can die crossing the road. We can die in a car crash. We can die sleeping in the shower. We can die choking on our food. We can die from sickness, from any other illness. We can die from surgery complications, just from a basic procedure. Stress is the biggest killer. Why stress? Why worry? Why live in fear? You can't live in fear. You have to be fearless in life. Cross the road. Get inside a vehicle. If you need surgery, have it. Many will tell you we have to eat food. We have to shower. At some point, we have to leave our homes and cross the road. We have to get inside a form of transportation to get around. We have to have surgery if we need it. We don't have to get on a plane. Incorrect. The world is so huge and so phenomenal. It is so mind-blowing and awesome. It is so incredible and fantastic. Every single person alive has picked up a world map and looked at it. They have looked up places from all across the world. They have seen photos. They have seen videos. They were intrigued. They are lying to you. Most importantly, they are lying to themselves. They are so concerned about dying when they are already dead on the inside. They have cheated themselves out of life. Don't cheat yourself out of yours. Everyone's time is limited. You can use yours to hide, or you can use yours to live. I'm using mine to live. Nobody is here forever. You have to live for the moment.
each and every day. The here, the now.